Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Matchfit Entertainment's official coverage of Asrnz's 2026 World of GT3 World Challenge. Should I say? Of course it is, because it's Thursday night. It is round 5 at Barcelona. I'm Davo, and as always, J-Man right by my side. How are you, my friend?
Wet.
Oh, wet. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a wet
Wow.
Barcelona.
I was just starting to read something into that, but I'll leave.
So welcome aboard, viewers. Obviously, a little bit late to the party tonight. A few little techie gremlins in the back for everyone, I think, tonight.
I think so.
However, qualifying has just finished. Shane Foddo goes to the top on a very wet 4.675 kilometre racetrack here at Barcelona, 16 turns, and he has completed his quali lap with a 150.4, slightly ahead of Jake McKellar, Damo Icarus, Steve Melling with a good qualifying up there in P4, Lee Perkins. Nice little performance there in the qualifying in the rain. Sees himself fall on 5th position on the grid, just ahead of Ashley Vertiger, Damian Jones, Dan Kim, Phil Turner, Darren Green round out the 10. However, Rowan first, Kenny Simpson, Biggie Hugs, and I do know that name. That could be Zach Jensen potentially. Leon John and Uncle Joe round out the cars for 15 on what is, as we mentioned, a very wet racetrack here for tonight's proceedings, and they will kick off a very action-packed 20-minute sprint race. Is a CPS. If you haven't been watching throughout the series, it is a mandatory pit stop in both races, the 20 and the 50 that will follow this, and it is a minimum 25-second fuel dump. Tyres in these conditions could be purely selective based on the weather, I think, Davo. However, a little shake-up in the format, not on our current on our usual service, so we will see a Q2 tonight. So we'll see another quickfire one-lap dash qualifying post-race one. So looking forward to that one as well, and looking forward to seeing how the conditions change throughout the day. But buckle up, won't be too far away from race start, and we'll be able to kick this thing off, David.
Yes, well, who would have thunk it? It's Spain, Catalonia, and pouring down rain, but we do love a bit of precipitation at J-Man, because it definitely adds a little spice, doesn't it, to the racing. And it really, yes, and it really does look, for want of a better term, sort the men from the boys here. So, look, we've seen in the past that some guys just really do specialise in the rain and do stellar jobs. So we'll be looking for those guys, because they don't always seem to sit at the top of the pack on a dry track. So yes, definitely buckle up and watch this space. Let me see if I can just get a bit of audio in my ear here. And what do we got? Only about 30 seconds to go, J-Man. I don't even think we've got current points up for this round, but what we can do is we'll just flick up last week's points, if nothing else, just to show you how tight some of the battles are towards the back end of that top 10, J-Man. There's some good healthy competition going on there. And after last week, I think it was at Imola. Yes.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Imola, which is always, look, Catalonia actually, mind you, provides us with some bloody awesome racing as well, as we see the boys rolling away. Interesting in the rain though. Love the track, J-Man. Your thoughts on track as a driver?
Yeah, look, I appreciate this part of the world, the racetrack. It offers a bit of everything, and certainly turn one, such a big front straight, and opportunities into turn one here.
Yes.
To maybe not in these conditions, but in other times, maybe try and send it around the outside and have the rights to the left-hand phase of the next turn, and try and come across and cut across before what is turn 3, which is a very big loop, and then they head down, as we can see them all now circulating just up to this turn 4 Repsol, another fantastic corner to try and generate something on the way in if there's a little bit of overlap out of that big sweeping turn 3 right-hander. So yeah, I do fancy the place, and I think tonight will be fascinating based on the fact that these conditions, we haven't seen a lot of precipitation throughout the series lately. I think we've called one wet race recently, and this one will be the next one on the calendar for us, and I'll just be interested to see what cars really work well in the rain. I think the Lexus goes pretty well, but used to, so it'll be interesting to see how young Jake McKellar fares here. And also Damo Icarus as well. He's got a nice turn of speed in these conditions at the moment.
Look, to be honest, I won't rely on one degree. It's pretty crappy. But I can not remember ever calling a wet race here, J-Man at Catalunya. So,
yeah, I'm with you there, but I struggled to remember what we called last week, let alone
yesterday.
Out of the out of maybe the last 400 maybe or more streams we've done.
It's a few hundred there, Jay. You're exactly right there. Who's back of shot there? A lot of weaving. The Ferrari of Danny Kim there. Man, that guy is like literally right on the edge of bidding it on the formation lap. But Danny Kim, no stranger to a Ferrari, and pedals them well, J-Man, to be honest.
Yeah, pit row start too for the number 12 car, Leon Jan. Not sure what happened there, whether it's maybe a little bit late to the entry or maybe a bit of disconnection stuff going on there. However, good to see him sitting there with the wipers on. The car is running, so he'll look for that cue. And look, they are coming around the final corner, Davis. I'll leave the race start up to you. And
They are, J-Man, thank you very much. And I think that's Ash Dial also sitting in the pit lane. J-Man, maybe a late starter or late entry here. We are about to go green. We are at Catalunya in Barcelona for round 5 Asrnz 2026. GT3 World Challenge. Shane Fonato leading the way. McKellar in the Lexi. Icarus right there as well. There is Steve Melling. Just showing the nose. Lee Perkins in the Nissan.
That's the move I talked about, running deep down in there into one and trying to go around the outside. Unfortunately,
it didn't work.
It did not work, and Lee Perkins actually picked his pocket during that process.
Or has he? Or J-Man.
Yeah,
again.
It's not done. Drive-through penalty.
Steve-O's still on this, J-Man, just quietly.
Who's that for? Uncle Joe.
And so Icarus wide.
Ken Simpson around.
Simo around in the background. That is unfortunate. We do have Leon. Jean, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Out of the pit lane. But Shane
Good
Fonato.
battle. Good battle up the front though. McKellar is going with Fonato and also
absolutely.
Looking really good in these conditions, and going with Damo Icarus as well. Steve Melling just tucked in behind Damian Jones in there as well. So little breakaway, and then the next pack led by Ashley Vettiger, being hounded at the moment by Danny Kim in the Ferrari.
And just watch Jones. He will pressure Steve-O to move a little bit quicker than he is. He has already put pressure on Perkins on a couple of corners already. A couple of quick pit stops there. That is Perkins and Jones in immediately. We see. I think that's Turner as well, J-Man.
Yep. This is definitely a trait for Lee Perkins. We see this week in, week out, but he opts to go with that. And I think that was a smart play from Damian Jones as well. I think Jark's realising that there was a little bottleneck there with maybe Steve-O just trying to get that tyre up to temp and get it to work, decided to get out of traffic. So good to see the 43 car Farmers turned up. So a little late, but I think he always said he was probably going to make race 2.
Well, fashionably late. It's just Farmer, isn't it? So, nice work. Always awesome to see Farmer, limited time on that man's schedule. It's always good to see him out on track, J-Man. So Frodo in the Lambo that he quite rightly admitted during the week on the socials was trying to kill him every now and then in his recent rounds, but out in front at the moment, but quickly tailed by McKellar and Icarus there, J-Man, in a couple of Lexi. You did call the Lexi out as a particularly good car in the rain, and it is showing that now. Steve Melling can sort of just focus on what he's doing, but he has dropped back. Well, has he dropped back? What was the car in front of him? It was Lee Perkins. What was the car behind him? It was Damien Jones. Both of those cars have been through the pit lane, so he's in a bit of clean air. He can just sort of focus on what he's doing here and try and hit his marks in his trying condition. Like you mentioned, J-Man, Ashley Bediger in the red Mustang. Awesome to see Ashley back. He was back at Imola last week. And back again for some skids in the Mustang. A very wet Catalonia tonight. Danny Kim in the pits, Jay and Green first. And Hugs rolling into the pits well, and Kenny Simpson rounding out the top 10. But you did mention that little bit of a turn from Kenny in the first lap. So, in recovery.
Yeah, some interesting numbers. So Shane Frodo, last 2 laps, quickest car out there on track by around about 4/10 of a second, there or thereabouts. But interestingly enough, McKellar, 10k an hour faster down the straights at the moment. That's so he's got a bit of mile an hour over Frodo. So that bodes well if he can tag onto the back of that Lamborghini. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like if he's close coming out of turn 15 into turn 16, to see whether he can get that Lexus right up underneath the wing of the Lamborghini. And I would say 10k an hour would be enough to do the job. Vertiger really starting to hone in now. He's got that down to 0.8 on Steve Melling, so just watch that space there. I think Vertiger in the Mustang starting to just find the groove in the wet here.
Yeah, look, Bediger again, just one of those very patient driver, very much skilled driver as well. I sort of got a feeling that he will go well here tonight. Well, what is well? Keeping it on the black stuff, J-Man, that's good. So, yeah, look, definitely one to watch throughout here. Melling hasn't stepped a foot wrong and definitely had pressure around him over the first couple of laps there, so I think Bediger in very late, J-Man.
Yeah, sorry, I just picked up on Lee Perkins very sideways. Got pressure now from Damien Jones. We talked about those guys pit stopping together. They were both 27 stationary on the jack. Danny Kim slightly slower, 28 second stop, but yeah, Damien Jones starting to put some heat now on the back of Lee Perkins, around about the 1 second margin between those two, and then about another 2 seconds back to Danny Kim. So it'll be interesting to see. And once again, you just called Ashley Vertiger into the lane, so we'll see what the numbers look like for Ash. I think Aztec might have jinxed his pit stop strategy last week. He got it right in race 1 and then just threw it all out the window in race 2 and just, yeah, poo-part all of that stuff. And yeah. So 27 seconds for Ash Vertiger. This is going to get interesting. Where is Lee Perkins? Here comes Perkins and Jones down the front straight. Ashley is on the loud pedal.
So that's Jones.
He should be closer to Danny Kim here.
So yeah, Jones sneaking past there, as you can see over the, and there is Danny Kim, like you mentioned, J-Man with that is, who is behind you? It's
Biggie Hugs, mate. And yeah, so Shane Frodo keeps shifting that marker, so the boys out there starting to get a little bit comfortable with this track. It is a damp track with reducing rain over the next 10 to 30 minutes, so I guess 12. So we've only got, we've only got around about, what, 7.5 minutes remaining in this one?
Yep, definitely, as we see Icarus in as well, J-Man.
Yep.
So one of the top three cars sneaking into the pit lane, obviously waiting on McKellar and Bonado and Melly. All those guys been running in the lead pretty much since the green flag dropped here. And like J-Man said, not long to go. These are very quick fire heat race, I think we'll call it, to kick things off on the night. Even with a pit stop, move pretty quickly, J-Man. So these guys have got to be, like, the pit stop's probably more critical than 20, isn't it? Because you've got such a short time span over the race as a whole.
Yeah, so and I'm just watching that there. So Icarus going to lose a bit here. He has a 30-second stationary stop, and that is going to certainly make things pretty spicy with Lee Perkins coming down the lane. So Icarus just gets on the loud pedal. I think he's probably going to clear Perko here, but I tell you what, it's going to be tighter than he would have liked. So big net gain there from Lee Perkins with a 27 stop over a 30-second stop.
Yeah, definitely. And again, very sideways
Backs
into
it in.
one. Literally just back it in there. We saw this last week with Perko, very sideways at Himalaya, and it was dry, mind you. So let's see if we can get a Lee Perkins sideways action last week. I think we're going to catch it. So we're just going to replay on that and see Perkins chasing.
I was a bit out with my time, sorry. What are we looking at there? So we got... Okay, so what have we got? 9.5 minutes remaining.
Absolutely. Darren Green in the pit lane, a J-Man in that stunning looking Porsche. Without a doubt, the best looking car out on the grid at the moment. So nice work. And,
yeah,
rocking the MF Matchfit logo as well. So extra points from us in the culture box here, J-Man. But Bonado leading the race in the Lamborghini, showing as a black car on the stream tonight for some reason. But look, doing that, just he's stealthy. Is he stealthy? I don't know. What he's doing is going exceptionally good. But McKellar has the toe and is not letting go. The gap has stayed very close to J-Man between these two. This is going to play out in the pit stops, I suspect.
27 for Darren Green. It's a good stop. Good battle here, Danny Kim, Ash Vertiger. It's very, very tight. So obviously a bit of a battle on pit road, which Ash won that one by a second, and it sees them back out on track together. So you're right, mate. Shane Owen, very conservative to the lane as well. Yep. What does Melling do? Melling stayed out as well. So McKellar here looking to just maybe do a very, very good inlet. He was around 8 1/4 tenths off of the pace of the race leader the last lap around, banking 150.8 versus... Oh no, sorry. No, that was Stevo. So Stevo was 8 tenths slower than... So Stevo's got good pace. And remembering, he's racing Lee Perkins. So bang on the money with the same time that Perko's run. So if Stevo could pull out a magical 26 stationary here, it'd put him pretty close once again to Perko and Jones and Vertiger. I think Stevo would like to get out somewhere, I think, between Damien Jones and Ash Vertiger if he could when he goes. However, I'll give you an update on those times. So Shane Bonado does a 27 stationary. That should see him get out nicely, and it'll be all about Jake McKellar here, about how efficient he is with the stops. I think we did see McKellar do a 26-second stationary in one of the sprint races already this season. So
yeah,
got the pit crew tuned up.
He has.
Give them some Red Bull, I think.
So it's he sort of winds his way through this final sector here and drops down into this very awkward final complex of corners here. I do very much prefer the non-chicane version of this track, but nonetheless gets it around there very tightly and stays out a little lap, J-Man, mind you.
Yeah, I'm just watching with interest to see this lap time here. And
Melling stays
comes
out.
through for a 49.917 to take the fastest lap of the race.
Wow.
So
Okay.
if there's ever a time to step up and start running quick
It's
to try and overcut your competition, it's right now. And I'll tell you what, he's responded.
He's doing it.
And
He's definitely doing it, mate.
yeah, we won't get a read on Shane Fodado's time for a little bit yet till he comes through.
And because we know that's where J-Man's eyes are fixed at the moment. He's at the data there, and
Yep.
we see Shane actually just getting
A little bit held up here.
a little bit held up by one of the out of position cars.
I think this is going to favour Jake McKellar here. I think Jake McKellar put himself with that pit strategy
And
in the box
Burnley
for a
maybe as
victory
well
here.
too, Jake. So that.
This lap time is not going to be great from Shane Fodado. I reckon that cost him a fair old chunk.
It
Then the
would've.
Jake was at 49.917. Fodado's just come through. Okay, his is a 244.6. And I don't know why that is, because I didn't think... Oh, yeah, that was his out lap, sorry.
Yes. Either way, look, he didn't even need to look at the data to see that he was getting held up there a little bit. You know, just found himself in the wrong place in the traffic. And this is the gamble, these guys. You just don't know what's going to get thrown in front of you. Obviously, Leon, I think it was that he was tucked in behind there. Well within his rights to be on the track and in position. Nothing untoward there, but yeah, just quicker car from in the Lamborghini with Fodado behind the wheel there. We've still got him on camera there. You can see him very sideways out of the hairpin. But yeah, just wrong place, wrong time. Isn't it, Joe, man?
Yeah, Melling to the lane, McKellar carries on. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Okay. So 5 minutes to go. McKellar will be thinking about it. What are our lap times here? She's got to come in. What, next lap? Surely. It's going to get close otherwise.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Fodado's personal best lap is a 49.910.
Yep.
Jake McKellar's is a 49.720. So he is doing all the right things at the moment to try and put himself in that position. And he's literally going to do it with a lap or two to go.
Yep.
Try and get out there and literally just leave that lane just ahead of Shane Fodado. And target number is looking good. 48. Okay, so
Kenny Simpson also running through the pit lane there as well. Jake and Melling off the jacks and proceed. All eyes are on Jake McKellar. We got the chief abacus out here, the Matchfit abacus at the hands of J-Man working out the numbers.
Yeah, right now, Shane would come out right now 0.7 of a second ahead of McKellar if he is to stop right now. 0.7 ahead based on the numbers.
Close. Okay, so McKellar, surely he's going to come in this lap.
Well, he needs to do one more fast one. Let's see what Shane ran. Shane ran a 50.8. Jake was a 50.2. This is going to be super, super tight. He needs to be really aggressive on the entry here. Pulls it up. Does a nice job. Darren Green, Phil Turner, that's a good battle going on also, as well as Lee Perkins. Steve Melling did get out ahead of Lee Perkins. That was critical.
Oh, okay.
That is a pass made. That is a pass made in the pit lane.
Yeah, nice work. Nice work.
And
so that trio is still, well, it's actually four of them. It's Melling, Perkins, Jones, and Vinegar.
McKellar with the snaggies. Oh no, sorry, that's overall time. I was going to say with the snaggies, but he's actually just made the jack.
Have been very close together throughout the race, and clearly just that little swap would just get out of the bottom of McKellar actually, and just watch Jones very sideways in the Porsche. But here we need to get on to Shane's car here, and just
You do.
McKellar.
So 27,
Still on
28,
the jack.
29.
Here he
That
comes.
is going to hurt.
That is too long. Shane Potter will
Yeah.
come by, and there he goes.
He will rue that moment because if he went 27, I think he was literally almost going to be side by side.
Yep.
Shane would have had obviously a slightly better tyre based on the fact that it was up to running temp, and Shane came through that lap with a 50.3.
That's tight, J-Man. Icarus in third position as Big Melling in fourth. Melling in a great position, and what a move in the pit lane there, J-Man. Just getting things done there. Pipping Lee Perkins now sandwiched between himself and Steve Melling and Damien Jones. Like we mentioned, Ashley Berger rounding out that foursome. Actually, Danny Kim, don't forget about Danny Kim or Mr. Hugs, if you don't know him, Biggie to the Matchfit team, rocking in behind Danny Kim there. But look, very short racing. These guys have not. You can see pretty well a third of the field, maybe half the field there, just in that one camera there.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
so,
100%.
So still very close. The range really just has equalised this quite a lot, J-Man. Let's get another shot out of one of Asrnz's car because just well on.
Oh, Greeny just got Turner.
Leaders on final lap now.
So nice work as they roll out of that little dicky little chicane there and out back onto the start straight. Awesome. Perko in the Dado. Melling in fourth position in the Macca. And doing a stellar job, J-Man, is Steve Melling.
Yeah, final lap this one. So Shane Fodderdo is looking quite comfortable out there. 3.3 seconds over Jake McKellar. Damon Icarus, another 3.94 seconds. Steve Melling, he's got to just try and hold off Lee Perkins for another 4 odd kilometres here. And also, Damien Jones has got a whole lot of Mustang by the way of Ashley Vertiger all over the back of him at the moment.
Yeah, I feel that the temperature coming from the front of that Mustang has got hotter and hotter as this race has gone on. And Vertiger going.
Oh, that's not good news, Wally Baker. But mate, good to have you tuning in, and your mate Shane Fodderdo is out there absolutely doing the business at the moment, and Larry's doing pretty well in a 5th position as well.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, bad news. Wally, you'll be up and running. No time, J-Man, final lap, the final series of corners. Shane Fodderdo running through the right-hander. And getting a little bit of a tail wag just to wave through the crowd. In at the Lamborghini, takes out race 1, Jake McKellar. Keeping him honest the whole way, J-Man. A little bit of a slip up in the pit stop, cost him. Icarus.
Yeah, nice work from Fodderdo there last lap, 49.817, to his personal best on the last one.
Icarus in third, Steve Melling in fourth. Lee Perkins already parked up against the fence, no surprise, in 6. Ashley Vertiger in 7. Danny Kim in 8. Mr. Hugs cost him 9.
Darren, yep.
Darren.
Yeah, Danny was a boxer, Darren's a race car driver.
Oh, true that. There you go.
Yeah, Turner over first, Simpson, John, Grimmer, and Wilton. So Wilton in there did circulate, managed to get 8 of the 11 laps completed. So he'd be pretty happy about that. Puts himself in a position to know what's underneath him before we head off, Davo, for this next qualifying session. Obviously tonight a little bit different than we're used to seeing. Obviously we won't have to disconnect this one, and we'll just stay here and watch these guys get ready to go for another quali session.
We love that. J-Man, keeping it simple tonight here. But yeah, what a good solid turnout here in the pouring rain at Catalunya. And some great racing to boot for the first race, 20 minutes. Very short intermission, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Well, maybe just go and grab yourself a fresh baby, cup of tea, coffee, beer, maybe. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll be back in a moment. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Short intermission. The boys are back out on track for Q2, round 5 at Catalunya for the Asrnz 2026 GT3 World Challenge. Davo and J-Man in the comms box again for the 50-minute main. J-Man cracking a little 20-minute race there to get things off tonight.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, another great victory from Shane. However, I felt like strategy-wise, it was looking to be really, really tight at the back end. However, Jake McKellar's pit crew just a little bit snaggy on the jacks, just cost him a couple of seconds there, or around 3 seconds, and that was the difference. If we saw the way the race finished out, was around somewhere around that 3-second margin. So sort of tells us that this qualifying session is going to be a bit of a banger, because McKellar and Fotto incredibly close in Q1. And then also there's a handful of other drivers as well that I think could front up here, based on the fact that they've now just banked another 20 minutes in these conditions. Conditions are very similar to Q1 and race 1 here, and just maybe gone out with slightly adjusted tyre pressures. I did see the 858 car utilising the 5-minute intermission to go out there and log some laps. So Lee Perkins, who finished strongly in 5th behind Steve Melling, I think has maybe just tuned this thing up. So look out for what will be a great battle here between, I think, front row definitely going to be a bit of an arm wrestle between McKellar and Fotto. However, on the face of what I've just seen, Damo Icarus and also Lee Perkins could really, maybe if they jag one here, put themselves in the mix.
As we just got eyes on Perko, literally drifting it nearly halfway through turn 3 there. So he really does have the front on this Datsun hooked up, and the back disconnected basically, because he's driving like a WRC car at the moment in these conditions. He'll be loving this stuff, J-Man. But look, like you said, he could be buying himself into a podium finish here. Again, we see that car on camera right now, literally backing it into the corners. How long can he keep that up, J-Man? I don't know. But the pace will be hot nonetheless. Fotto, we expect to see at
9.5, good lap.
Vediger already back in the pits, Jones in the pits. McKellar, one to watch. J-Man just rounding this little dicky, and look at the size of the curves as we just see the taxi there. Like, it's a taxi, takeaway taxi, mind you. It's used to massive curves like that, just going about its daily business. But there it is.
Oh, 9.6, so only a
close.
tenth away.
That's close.
It's actually only a half a tenth away, so it is super tight. We saw them do this good lap from Assetto, but great lap there from Farmer, 50.2, to put himself on the second row with Ashley provisionally. So interesting to see what happens there. Lee Perkins, though, P6.
Enter Steve Melling, J-Man. He hasn't finished yet, and here he comes.
Yep.
So just don't sort of give away second row just yet. Oh.
Yeah, qualifies in between Jones and Vediger, so
that's close.
Those three there in for a cracker race.
Oh, mate, we saw it. We actually saw it last race in the short race, and those guys doing a job. Kenny Simpson, final car out on the circuit at the moment here. At a very wet Catalunya for round 5 in the Asrnz 2026 GT3 World Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. This is the main game. This is the big race. They basically just warmed up for this. The race before 20 minutes with a CPS. Again, CPS in this race just to shake things up. If the rain wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen, then we're obviously going to focus on some good pit stops, and we love the rain. J-Man, thank you all our viewers for tuning in again tonight. Obviously, Wally Baker and Aztec on the chat box. Hit us up, boys. Who's your money on for this one? And not just the top three. I mean, look, the bottom end of that top 10 is epic at the moment. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And look, that literally could go anywhere amongst pretty much. Oh, look, just to have a look at it. Wilton, Vedica, Melling, Jones, Perkins, Green. Oh man, the names.
Good lap, Kenny.
Simpson sneaks
Yep,
into the top
P9.
10. J-Man.
Yep.
Very
Yeah,
nice, very
I
nice.
just watched that lap as you were just calling through it there, and it was actually really, really tidy. It was, well in control and discipline. The car looked straight through all the exits, and well done to Kenny. Go P9. Be interested to see what he can make of that from there. But
Look, another like Lee Perkins. I don't think Lee drives real cars, but it's Lee Perkins doesn't want a rally car, but we know Kenny does drive a dirt track car in real life. So no stranger to a bit of opposite lock. So keeping it clean for Kenny there in very wet conditions here tonight. J-Man. Next week we are off to Misano. Look, we could take the rain with us to Misano. I think that'd work. Look, I'm happy to do that because the racing's spectacular in the rain. But nonetheless, next week we are at Misano before the boys head back to sort of the Australia side,
yeah,
of the world.
stage two of the tournament. There's been a little bit of discussion about that and behind the scenes to what that looks like. So I think the second phase of this championship is going to be really, really interesting. And in respect to what you just commented about taking the rain with us, I reckon a few of these guys might plead that their laundry budget isn't that big, and maybe they need some dry wet. Wetsuits tonight, but some dry race suits for the following week. But Ash doesn't get a stop go 30, he will break his bad luck at this track. Wow, it's comments like that, and I'm not sure. Is that already a jinx? I'm not sure.
It's brutal.
Yeah. However, this one will be interesting. Obviously, you can see there that predictively inside this is scheduled for a 50-minute race, so look for the guys to run relatively long here to see what this weather does. It does look like it's reducing in 10, and within half an hour it looks like we may be down to a drying track with just overcast conditions based on the graphic. So I think Lee Perkins, hopefully he's looking at his weather widget and maybe doesn't come in on lap 1 here, because I don't know that would be the smartest play in the current conditions.
Definitely not, David. Definitely not.
Easier to say up here, though, isn't it, David?
We're up high and dry with the bar fridge.
Yeah.
And mixed snacks. we're good to go. But look, this is going to be a cracker. Here, what do we got? 16 on track again for the main game.
Wilton in the mix, mate. Second row.
Wow. Just what happened there?
Yeah.
Hey, look, he literally probably had no practice. J-Man gets off the train, steps into the office, buckles up, and bam, there you go. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, steps off the train. He was not a passenger. He was driving that train.
Well, I tell you what, I'm sure the train was probably steering a lot better than these things are at a very wet Catalonia tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, hit the like button, guys. Come on, support not only Matchfit but Asrnz in doing so. So smash that like button, guys, and give us some love. These boys definitely need some incentive. I tell you, who's that in the background? Again, overwarming the Ferrari tyres. It's Danny Kim.
Danny Kim, yeah. Yeah, starting off the back this one, so quali not going completely to plan for Dan on that one, but It'll be an interesting watch because he had good pace. He was up there battling with the likes of Jones and Vertiger in race 1 in the sprint race. So it'll be interested to see what he can make of a 16th position start.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what a 16th position start looks like. Let's get out of the back of Kenny Simpson's car, and this is on a formation lap, mind you. A lot of spray over the rear wing of the Mustang there. Looking at Mr. Hugs and Mr. First in the background, but yeah, look, once the speed picks up on these cars, that spray will just be relentless here.
You can literally hear Kenny riding that brake pedal, Davo. So he's trying to generate some tyre temp through the brake rotor and the carcass of the tyre. And you can hear it. He was dragging that brake there.
Now, I don't think the brake light's actually gone off since the camera's been on him there. So, yeah, those boys. Fairly cool conditions here, as you can see on the graphic there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't stop it, Aztec. I know what you're doing. Right, I'm doing the chat.
Well, he's effectively jinxed, buddy. Third and fourth, so it bodes well for Steve Melling and Damien Jones here. Watch that space. If that comes to fruition, we may have to mute him. He's rooting for his mates there. Aztec, a long time, you know, recipient of Asrnz racing and supporting certainly McKellar and Ash out there, and that's great. We love the support for your friends and, you know, family out there, so that's good. But I tell you what, this is going to be pretty spicy. I do believe between Ash and Farmer down into one, that is going to be a point of attention, I think.
Oh, absolutely, and that's where the cameras are most definitely focused at the moment. Archie's excited. He's all G'd up for it. Here we go. The 50-minute lane. Race 2, round 5. Catalunya, Asrnz 2026. GT3 World Challenge, and look at the
Farmer.
From Farmer, my God. And Melling.
Can he pull it up?
Who's that up beside Melling there? That is, oh, and he's got a tag. That is Lee Perkins. And he gets tagged again by Hugs, I think, as well on the way past. So, tough start for Melling. But Wilton holding his ground, J-Man, holding out third position nicely.
Yeah, look, Jones got through on Vertiger as well during that exchange as well.
Oh,
so
okay, so yeah, there you go. So nice work from DJ.
Yeah, definitely a shuffle up at the front there. Nah, not for Fotado though. Got a great start. Got himself clear of any of that malarkey and decided to check off down the road. But I tell you what, that is going to be a great battle now because McKellar will want that back ASAP. And we can see now Lee Perkins starting to mount an attack on the back of Ash Vertiger. So just at the early signs there, Ash's car looks just a little bit wounded as far as this first lap pace.
Yeah, just want to get, maybe that car didn't quite get the tyre temps that he was looking for. Just
big move from Hugs down on Kenny Simpson.
On Simpson, a couple of Mustangs. Oh no, it's not. No, sorry, Hugs in a Datsun there. And Danny Kim, J-Man from the back of the pack. Like, seriously.
Yeah, 16th to 10th and half a lap.
Yeah, nice work, Melling. Just heading backwards a little bit there, J-Man, after a little bit of hip and shoulder. It didn't look like anything untoward there, as we just see. That was Simpson, and just tack in the back of Hugs there, going, come on, mate, you've got to go fast. Just move it along. Got to go and get the boys. So
someone's sending us a lot of love on the YouTube. We appreciate it.
You freaking legends. We love that.
Hey, Mads. Hey, yeah. So Perko, in the run wide, turn 1, turn 2 for.
We will up on that just quickly here. So Vinegar unforced, gets it all sorts of locked up into one. But if we actually looked at the back of shot there, that was Perko in the Datto, very sideways. Oh, here we go. We've got contact. That's Icarus and Hugs. And they're 3 wide, J-Man through 5, and it's still on!
Oh,
And then
no.
Vediger into the wall, then Eddie in amongst the mix as well.
That was just messy, and Ash Vediger was on the receiving end of it. Didn't do anything wrong and just got clouded around the ears and said, here's the fence, son.
Okay, out of the helicam, replay, J-Man, back, out of 4 here. There it is. It just gets worse. There's more tagging, the elbows go out, someone's trying to redress. Perko trying to get past, tags Ashley again. Gets very quickly there amongst the boys.
Just add water, Davo.
Just and stir. We've got Aztec for stirring.
That's right.
Oh, just great stuff there.
Good battle here. Steve Wilton, McKellar, Jones. So Jones has had a great start to this race, and he's running with those 2 ahead of him. However, look at the straight line pace of this Lexus here.
David, like seriously.
McKellar with the pace.
Oh my God.
McKellar absolutely blew the doors off that McLaren down the front straight. There was no arguing that. He's just got so much straight line speed. The difference being 268k an hour plays 258. That is undefendable for Farmer on the front straight.
Yeah, nice draft there. Actually, McKellar's snagged out of the back of that McLaren's wing, I suspect. But yeah, look, big shout out to Steve Wilton there for, look, literally being in the position and having to contest second down into 1 over Jake McKellar. Stellar stuff. Now he's having to contest third for Damien Jones. DJ, just full attack mode here now.
Yeah. Danny Kim now up to 7th from P16. He's already up to P7,
Wow.
trying to just close that margin down on Lee Perkins. It's 1.3 seconds.
With all that other malarkey going on behind him, it's no surprise here. Look over the rear wing of Kenny Simpson's car. Have a look at that train of cars there. That is Turner, Melling, Rediker, Green, and Rowan first. Their big bunch of cars. As Kenny
Simpson off.
Force gets that thing off the track. Heading into that final sector there. Just goes in too late, doesn't he, J-Man?
Yeah, look, and it's taken him some time to try and sort himself out, get back on. He's even lost another position there to Darren Green. So that takes him back to P13.
So that's just, what's his, he didn't lose first though, did he?
He's just tucked in behind Darren Green, ahead of Rowan first.
My data just slowly updating itself. I can see it on track. I knew he was following Danny Green, but there you go. That Darren, should I say.
Jones really with some good pace at the start of this one. Just hanging in there with Farmer, but Farmer not really letting Jake get away too much. That's 0.8 the margin there, so hanging with 49.922 is the fastest lap of the race, held by Shane Fodderdo. And then the best of the rest would be, I think, Hugs with a 50.4.
Oh, no slats there, J-Man. Again, big shout out to Wilton. Literally has just stepped into his car pretty much after work and is on point, J-Man. Big shout out. McKellar passed, and McKellar needed to get past. He had to chase Fodderdo there. Fodderdo, we can see him all in shot together. There's not too much distance between these guys being very early in this race, but the time continues to tick. Just a little over 7 minutes in. Shane, I suspect, just probably taking a 9/10 approach at this race. Doesn't really need to push himself too hard to keep that car out in front. He's just got to keep it on the track. Most importantly, Icarus in behind Kim. Or is he? He's very wide out of the final corner there, Icarus. playing catch
Yeah.
up.
And that's painful for Steve Wilton. He was around 0.5 of a second behind McKellar coming out of turn 15, and then they got on the straight, and Jake McKellar pulled out 3.5 just in the straight alone. You can see
But look,
Farmer ranges back up on him as soon as they get into the twisty stuff.
the handling in these conditions from McLaren. Look at it again. Just gains another car length through pretty much one corner there. Very close stuff. So Wilton got that thing dialed in, Joe, man. I think McKellar's going to struggle to chase Quadrado if that's the condition of the Lexus is. Look, no disrespect to Wilton or saying McKellar's obviously got something wrong with the Lexus to be that backed off. But look what Wilton's doing to DJ's gap as well. Like he's literally got that thing dialed in. He has gapped DJ by a mile in the last couple of laps. So definitely got that thing hooked up.
Yeah, the McLaren looks in a sweet spot in these conditions. He looks super comfy. Just probably a little bit over usage of the curbs there. Down at the big stop at 10, and just got a little bit squirrely off there. And but you can just see just how easy it is for him to gain that margin back through the braking zones and the tighter turns. And then you watch here, they're going to come out here. 0.5 is the difference.
In the pace. Yep.
And then we watch that gap grow as they head down the front straight. Although Farmer a little closer this time, tucked in the draft. It's already out to 0.6. Now to 0.7. So he already made 0.2, even with Farmer in the tow. So it just shows how big an engine that Lexus got on the front straight. So he's got it slippery. And Farmer, maybe with a lot more error on that car, really hooked up through the middle part of the racetrack.
So we just, as J-Man was explaining that, we out of the dash cam of Steve Wilton's car there. You can clearly see the Lexus running away there. But through the twisty stuff, Wilton able to hold that gap pretty healthily. Not so much as he did last lap, J-Man, but all the same, still gapping DJ in the process, which is the Porsche in behind Damien Jones. So those two guys both moving away from Damien at the moment.
Yeah, and a couple of Datsuns heading towards Jonesy now, so that's Lee Perkins and Biggie Hugs. So, okay, Zach Jensen, I think.
Oh, no, I think it's Lee Perkins and Biggie. It's Lee Perkins, Biggie Hugs, and then DJ, so...
Yeah, a.k.a. Zach. Yep, I think.
Oh, sorry, yep.
But Danny Kim is the one I'm watching. The gap keeps plateauing. He gets it to sort of 1.1 seconds, and it has a couple little moments, and it blows back out again, David, to sort of 1.5. As we see the pass going on.
Very sideways.
Wow.
We'll just get a quick replay of that. We just picked it up there. Big slide, gathers it up, puts Perkins on in an awkward trajectory through that little final chicane there, which at the end of the day has given Hugs the run down into one here.
Yeah.
So Perkins probably could have just, I don't think he could have even bailed out of it. He just sort of found himself up the side Hugs car there. And again, here we go. 3-3. Huge corner. 3. It just eats front lefts, J-Man.
Yeah, look, track's damp now. So obviously rain stopped falling. We've just got cloud overhead, and yeah, you're right there. That track is slimier than a handshake from Pick. Oh, yeah, that too. Stars Piggy.
I'll pay that.
Yeah.
I'll pay that. That's good.
Look at this now. We're going to get into a tyre battle here now. Whose tyre responds to a damp track more than a wet? We saw how much balance Farmer's car had in the peak wet condition. Does that go away? You know, whose pressures are set where? We saw from Aztec earlier said that basically damp track is a bugger if you have wet pressures, and he read it really early, because now we have a damp track with guys all running out there
Yeah.
with effectively great wet pressures, and I think Farmer, as strong as he's being, what does this look like? Does this thing start chewing a tyre up?
No, look, I'd expect so, and I think that's what's going on with
Jake's in. Jake is in.
With Hugs and Perkins at the moment. We're just out of the front of Danny Kim's car. We did see Icarus actually sneak on past there, and there we go. There's Kim in. So Kim from the back of the pack of J-Man to 6, doing really well. Jake McKellar in J-Man as well.
Yeah, and look, maybe McKellar read the situation there and decided that, look, even in that last lap, Farmer was incredibly close, and maybe that balance of that car, we saw it starting to fall away. The gap was increasing to Shane Fodderday. Obviously, they were still driving away from Damien Jones, who I might add had already made his stop too. So just watch that space. Damien Jones went in a lap earlier than these guys and got that done. So we'll just see what that looks like. Is that tyre already up to temp? Are the conditions good enough for that slick tyre? We know that there is a crossover point even in these wetter conditions where a slick is often better than a wet tyre, and Damien Jones runs out of turn 15, heading down to 16. Where McKellar is coming out of the lane. Jones is on the front straight. Where is the other guy you talked about, Danny Kim? He is coming. I'll give you some reads on the times. McKellar opted, obviously, naturally, everyone's going to reach for the tyre. 32 for McKellar and Jones.
Yeah. Jones already passed. Jones well past Kim and
yeah,
Melling.
35 for Kim, 32 for Melling.
And the rest of them, so big stops, obviously, tyre change.
Ashley Vediger went for a coffee as well because he spent 40 seconds on the jack.
As he rolls out of the pit lane, as does Darren Green in the Rothman's car. J-Man early, top Shane Bonneto also in, Steve Wilson. So
yeah, I think these guys had to go. They can't stay out there on a degrading wet tyre when the competition around them has all reached for the slick already. So I just wonder if they could have smashed one more hot lap and just really abused those tyres on this in-lap. That could be good for, I think, the likes of Farmer. We'll see whether going a lap earlier or a lap later is better, because there was 0.3 of a second differing between the 43 car and the 117 car of Jake McKellar. So Fodderday, however, had, looking at the read, he had a bit of time up his sleeve. So permitting that the stops are around that 32-second mark, we could see a real battle on pit exit for Steve Wilton and Jake McKellar.
absolutely. There's a lot going on here.
Wilton 34. Wilton 34, so he was
Bonneto only just off the jacks there.
32 for him, and here comes McKellar. He's comfortably going to get Farmer by way of a snaggy stop. He bled 2 seconds to Jake in the pits, did Farmer, and he's going to come out in front of Jones.
Just looking over the rear wing of Shane Bonneto, you can clearly see the McKellar car ranging up on him. The trademark Lexus gold grille. You can't miss it. It's it from space. But there it is. And yeah, look, that battle continues. Wow. Very tricky stuff. Very, very tricky stuff. Who was that just sneaking into the pits there as well?
That'll be Biggie.
Okay. And then the leaves Kenny Simpson. Chasing down. I totally agree. Are they all putting slicks on go back? They surely they are.
Yeah.
That's what we're suspecting, as Tech on the chat box there, Hemi. We really do think that's what all the boys are doing, is throwing a set of slicks on. And although it could be tricky for a few laps, it is clearing. We can see it. It's stopped raining. It's just a damn track. And these guys just trying to get these things up to speed on a little bit of a greasy surface here. Maybe not as slow as a pretty shape, but still trying conditions.
Biggie with Lee Perkins here. This is going to be tight. 32 seconds for Perkins and a 36 second stop for Biggie. We're going to go around the outside here with all that extra grip from going in a little bit earlier. Chucks it in sideways in front of Biggie.
Of course he does.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody, I think, out there based on the numbers. I haven't seen anyone not take a tyre change. Everything's 32 or above, and you would suspect that they reach for the slicks, given the fact that it is now a greasy dry line forming on the track as we speak, as we watch these guys they'll start searching for that optimum line. As Damo Icarus now from the race lead comes in and goes for his official pit stop. So obviously mandated to a 25-second fuel dump. However, tyres are at a premium.
Sorry to interrupt, man. Just we're at a
yeah, Danny Kim.
And just witnessed a little slip up there.
Well, Danny Kim's going to go for this. Oh, and they make contact up there at turn 14. Turn 11, sorry. And Perko.
I don't know whether Perko even knew he was there. He looked at it, he had a couple of looks at it. But ultimately he had to get the car turned in us. He wasn't going to make the call. Tags Kim. Kim probably got out off it lightly, didn't he? And continues on.
Yeah.
But Perkins around that car look very quick. And for McKellar out in the lead. Burst in the pits. Yes, should I say Shane Fodderdo in the Jake McKellar and Steve Wilton. J-Man, wow. Look, again, just praise for Farmer here. Really has stuck it to the boys so far. We are not halfway through this race yet. He's got plenty of time yet to go on on the slick tyres. Still out in front at Damien Jones. Good gap, good healthy gap over Jones, so no pressure. Ingris in pit, Bugs in sixth. Huntly on Ingris there.
Yeah, so just sort of looking at that and then scrolling down through the field, just picking up on something that Aztec said in the chat box there, Dave. I can clearly see the yellow sidewalls on Shane Fodderdo, and I can see them on, like you mentioned, on Perko's car and that. However, I'm looking at Jake McKellar's car, and we're trying to get on some camera angles to see that.
They're yellow.
Yeah, they are yellow. Yep. So I would be surprised if anyone was out there on anything other than the optimum tyre at the moment, which is a slick tyre, given how much it's drying.
Yeah, like you mentioned a couple of laps ago, you could clearly start to see that dry line forming. Now, Danny Kim started back at the pack. We saw that car in 6th positions, but now the pit stops have equalised. Everybody's been through the pit lane. Equalised into 7th position. That is Steve Melling in the 713 Castrol McLaren. And we know how handy the McLarens have already been here tonight. Hence, Farmer. Steve, okay, Steve in 3rd position. That is Lee Perkins after a bit of a slipper. Well back in 9th. Ashley Bedigar had a really tough start to the race. I think he might have got tangled up a little bit last week as well, but Bedigar right back on point here at ASRNZ. Ever the gentleman, But yeah, look, a lot going on in that those opening couple of laps. The guys just had the elbows well wide. Where's the battle? Where's the closest cars on track at the moment? It is Icarus.
And Biggie.
And
Yep.
Biggie at the moment, David.
Yeah, good little fight for me there. I think it looks that Biggie's just really starting to get in the groove here. Obviously, Icarus later to the lane than Biggie. So you just see just how the balance settles down over the next lap or so and what that margin looks like. Currently 0.9. And I think he'll have a hard job touching that Lexus, which is, I think, negative 30 on the BOP this week, hence why it's just an absolute rocket ship down the front straight. And I don't think there's too many cars that are going to touch that thing in a straight line as we see him rip down there with 269k an hour. However, Biggie's car, 267.
Yeah, look, if anything's going to take it to it in a straight line, it is the skyline, isn't it, bro? So,
yeah, flying block of flats.
Yeah, no, it'll do it. It'll do it. Yeah, aerodynamic is a brick, but yeah, definitely doable. And yeah, look at the hands of Hugs at the moment. It's not doing too shabby. Like we had a close on Perko, of course, albeit a little loose. It is his style. He does get the old Dado circulating pretty damn quickly. That was a well scuffed up car at the moment. Seen better days. Seen better go in tow, smooth as silk as always, as long as he's not getting punched in the face by someone while he's trying to find a bit of space on track. So nice work from Ventica J-Man rounding out that top 10.
Little incentive there for Ash as Lee just ran off track there, coming out of 9.
Same corner who ran off before he had that little altercation with Kim. Actually, that was the same corner that made him vulnerable last time. So tricky little, and it's a tricky little. Quite a few off-camber corners on this circuit, isn't there, Jay?
Yeah.
You know, like some of them just sort of like just beg you to just sort of run at it quicker. You know, like come at me. But the camber definitely drops off on a lot of the corners around the circuit, and definitely takes some not only setup skill but some real work to deal with that situation.
Yeah, this track really starting to clean up now too, viewers, with Shane Fodderdo just posting the fastest and his best lap of the race last lap round with a 46.4. Obviously in those wetter conditions we were pretty impressed at a mid 49. Now we've already dropped into the 46s. Jake McKellar's gone with him. He ran a 46.577, so around about a tenth of a second off the pace of the leader is Jake McKellar, so still staying very much in touch. 4.6, around 5 seconds the difference for those boys. So McKellar's still in it, and you know, we're still just under 24 minutes left to run. We know that that front left takes a hiding around here. These guys are driving very, very quick, so car balance will be everything at the back end of this race.
Yeah, early stops too, J-Man. I mean, obviously the weather conditions forced it, but yeah.
Yeah, on that too, just a note too there with that situation with the early stops. So the drivers that stayed out the longest on that wet tyre was Damo, Icarus, also I think, if I'm not correct, I think the other guy as well might have been Simpson. Might have stayed out a little longer as well, so however he's a little further down. But just watch that Icarus car as well. He's driven away now from Biggie, and 3.3 is the margin up to Damien Jones, so I'll just keep an eye on that, because that car balance could come on quite well. Damien Jones was actually the first car to make the move after the rain had stopped, so albeit he's good at the moment, P4, lapping at 47.8. Damo Icarus behind him, 46.3. And
Fod-
already
Fod-
Shane Fodado, 45.9.
Well, Fodado was late, you know, like. And
Fodado covered off. Fodado covered off McKellar and everybody else, so he went a lap after McKellar
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if nothing else, he's got a lap or two up his sleeve, time-wise. As we just see it getting a little bit taily.
Yeah, so watch that car. I think that 14 Lexus of Damo Icarus, I like, although I just obviously put my camera on him and talked about him, jinxed him down there at turn 10 as he ran a little deep. But
Well, I'm not even going to go there.
yeah, but watch that one there. I called it 3.3. It's still somewhere around that space, but I really feel like that car is going to make good inroads into Damien Jones. It's another 4.5 seconds up the road to Steve Wilton. Wilton now 11.8 seconds off the back of McKellar. So it really shows McKellar has got a car that was very much set up for dry conditions tonight. And he's showing the true car pace as he goes fastest now with a 45.690. So deep into the 45s now, McKellar. So watch that space. It's hovering around 3.9 to 4 seconds now.
Yeah, look, definitely cast it up to run on the drive, but it's kind of set up to chase Shane Fodado at the end of the day as well, J-Man. So those guys have been running, you know, pretty closely throughout the championship so far. Wilton, a little bit of a wild card, so to speak, but finds himself in third position. Probably, quite possibly, hasn't given it much thought to the boys that are out in front of him. So no surprise to see him back a little bit, but he will be very much conscious of where DJ is, Damien Jones is behind him, but it continues to gap Jones just that little smidge more.
Yep.
So
Now,
far. So, yes,
pretty excited, Davo, when I was calling the numbers for the Lexus of McKellar and co. You know, it was 269 versus 259 for some of the other cars. Well, the car I just looked at there in Damo Icarus, and I talked about him being the late stopper and that thing having a lot of pace, 272k an hour in the speed trap just last lap around. So that thing is super fast, and it's starting to hone that margin into Damien Jones, 1.7 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, no wonder it was so crappy when it was wet.
Yep. Ash Vediger, Lee Perkins turned into a nice little spirited battle right now as well. So those boys lapping in the mid 47s right now, so they're doing very well. But Fodado just having a trading war at the moment with Jake McKellar on who can set the fastest lap time, and Shane's just lowered that marker now to a 45.600. So those boys absolutely banging the good times out right now.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, obviously they're responding to each other's times. I mean, that's the game here, isn't it? It's like the gap.
Yep.
How close can you get to me? Obviously, Fodado doesn't want to fall back close enough for McKellar to get too close. But you know, it takes the slightest mistakes in your races this week, J-Man, to have a little bit of a slip up. Everything can change. There you go.
Look, sorry, I'm just watching Damo Icarus. He's just raging up on the back of Damien Jones, and the window wiper's going ballistic. It's not raining out there,
No,
I can
not
tell you
anymore.
that much for free. And the track has just gone fast, 22
Where's the
ambient,
button?
27 track.
It's a button, mate. Look at the button, bro. I don't know what the button is. How do I turn this thing off?
Yeah. Oh, well, he's got an opportunity as he comes down the front straight. We'll see if he can find it this time around. Or maybe at this point in time, he's not even worried about it.
Well, maybe just in case
He
it
is
does.
right there.
Maybe just in case it starts stuff. You just never know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Biggie's
He's on
coming
this.
on
Look at
strong
this.
as well.
On this, good change of direction from the Lexus through 1 and 2 there. Puts him in good stead out of 3. I'm sure that's the car that we saw poke its nose up in that melee earlier in the race there. Very big on the stops.
Yeah.
And a very quick car in a straight line, so he really ranges up on the back of these guys.
He just needs to be patient with the pass on Damien Jones here, because he can find himself in a readdress situation pretty damn quickly. Pretty gentlemanly rules here at Asrnz, so he needs to make this clean. However, he has dragged Biggie in this battle with him, and something to mention with only 16 and a half minutes remaining in this one, Davo, is I can tell you Jones cut last lap, Biggie cut last lap, Lee Perkins cut last lap, Uncle Joe cut. So track cuts gonna come. Yeah, track cut very much. Well, I've said it now, so if you see a DT come up on the right hand side of Davo's totem shortly, you'll know what's going on. These guys are pushing hard.
But yeah, look at this battle here. We did talk about Icarus and Hugs and you know what can keep up with that Lexus, and the Datsun is one of those cars, and it is clearly staying in touch with Icarus's.
Well, yeah, well, Icarus
there.
is
Look
now
at this. Look at
stretched it now. It's 275 in a straight line, Davo.
Look at that Toyota up under the wing of the Porsche. Can he stop the damn thing, though,
No way.
J-Man? He's got to get out of that. Is he going to lose his position? Is he going to try and just poke that thing in between the two cars? He can't. But here we go. Change positions there. Icarus.
Biggie here,
Jones
having a look.
feeling threatened, clearly feeling threatened here. He's changed his style, he's covering. Hugs through.
Jones still on the inside with a little bit of overlap here. Icarus up the inside, up into 9. Gets it done. And I'll tell you what, the benefactor there was Biggie for sure.
Yeah, look, Jones looked rattled, J-Man. He so looked battle there. Icarus attacking on 1 really put him off. He never really recovered from it. Hugs went past, and then Icarus actually just ranged up, found him offline again, and just got it done. So Jones, is he struggling already, J-Man? Like you said, first car in the pit lane, is that car suffering already?
Could be front left, could be really hurting already.
Yeah.
He's still got just under a quarter of an hour left to run on this one.
It's a long time.
But look at the gap that Biggie's put on. I'll be interested to see whether Icarus can pull that back.
The harder Icarus pushes, we know this car's quick in a straight line, but it does struggle a little bit in the turns. That car will go off as well, won't it? You know, like eventually.
Yep.
Because he's pushing so hard to get that last position. He wants to be in 4th. He wants to be in front of Hugs here. He's dispatched DJ. He's done. Porsche's gone. Okay, next thing is the Datsun. Where is Wilton in all this? He's already up into the final sector of the circuit, J-Man.
45.9 for Fodorado last look round, 45.5 for McKellar. A little bit of a net gain there for McKellar. It's just hovering around that 3.8 to 4 seconds at the moment, that margin. As we see a move here, Icarus and Hugs getting it on. It's going to invite Damien Jones back to this party. If they get it wrong, if they make contact, Damien Jones will be happy to take the spot.
I don't think Jones has got anything left. I really do think that thing's cooked already. I reckon he's going to be vulnerable to Kim, J-Man, and Kim starting at the back of the pack. I reckon. Wouldn't surprise me if Kim comes back into sixth position.
Well, Kim is monstering these guys
he's
all
right
the time.
There. Yeah, he's right there.
He is literally coming.
Here we go. Icarus. A little bit more conservative that time. Got the car out of the draft. Very late. Got off the throttle here. Trying to set it up early, and I reckon he's already suffering on the front left there. J-Man. This track needs front tyres.
Still manages to hold the car down on the apex a little longer than the Datsun though, so I just think the mid-turn grip in the middle of the corner, a little bit of a kiss there, coming down the hill into turn 5 there. So drop down now through turn 7, up through 8, through 9. Good little run there for Biggie, just pulled a couple of car lengths there on Icarus. Vertiger starting up the ante as well with Lee Perkins. I've just seen that gap starting to crush down late in the piece. I wonder if the Datsun of Lee Perkins has just seen a little bit too much sideways action and starting to protest.
When it comes to tyres, I reckon all 4 of them are stuffed on Perko's car. Not just the front. And look, we've got 10 minutes yet to go. Perko's got some work to do if he wants to keep.
Yeah, look, another one I'm watching as well. Once again, that's 2 laps in a row that McKellar's made 4/10 of a second. So 8/10 over the last 2 laps sees him at a 3.5 second deficit, but closing. The balance may be coming to the Lexus of Jake McKellar. Is Shane Fodderdo starting to run into some tyre issues? We're going to be able to find out, viewers, because we do. Obviously, if you're new here, we do a post-race interview with the podium, and that's pretty cool tonight because it's been a minute since we talked to Steve Wilton at the back end, and he is holding down a pretty lonely but pretty safe P3 at the moment. 16.7 seconds away from McKellar, 20.5 seconds off the lead of this race. But however, the big important thing is he's around about 8 seconds ahead of Biggie and Icarus, who have got their own sort of confrontation going on right now.
Yeah, and look, when they're not actually fighting over the same piece of track, they do gap Damien Jones and J-Man. And I'd say that thing's called time-wise. Danny Kim, can't remember where he came in the list of pit stops there. But you can see him working in the background. There you go, Hugs, Icarus, Jones, Kim, and Steve Melling in the back of shot there. Rounding out in the top 10.
Question, Davo.
Yes.
Are the Matchfit pigeons still? Do we still have the Matchfit pigeons? Or I think they release those back in 2020? Maybe, I'm not sure. If we did have them, I was wondering if we could send them down to Steve Wilton and just get them to take a little message on their little feet and tell them, hey bud, not too many track cuts. I see you got another one last lap round. You know, there's a half a podium on offer here, bud. Just stay inside the confines of the track and you may snag a good one here. But track cuts are plenty. Once again, Icarus and Jones also with a couple of infringements last lap round.
So these guys clearly, yes, I think the pigeons, I don't know, I think we paid them too much, J-Man. They started drinking red wine and too many, salty crackers. They got fat.
Wait, are we talking about the pigeons or?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, was that? No, I wasn't talking about you. It's okay. Yes, track cuts. I think these guys are still continuing to push, obviously.
Jack Farmer, I'm not even going to entertain that tonight, Anthony. Could you imagine he's in the box seat for a podium, J-Man drags him down, starts getting into that sort of malarkey, and then he goes, I reckon he'd probably jump on the train and drive to Via Plenty and give me a tune-up.
He's a big boy. And look, he mustn't actually slip up, J-Man, because if you can see in back a shot every now and then.
Yep.
You know, when we've got cameras on Wilton, you can see these boys behind. These guys are actually quite still well in touch. So.
Yeah, but Danny Kim, Davo, 45.997 versus their 46s. He's coming. He's only what? Is he two and a half seconds off the back of this battle?
7 minutes. It's not long to go here. Like seriously, he's got to have to shuffle along a little bit if he wants to get it done. But yeah, there you go. Steve Wilton on camera at the moment. You can see the Lexus in the background of Hugs. And Icarus in the Lexi.
What a great battle.
Under attack. DJ, corner, Danny Kim in the Ferrari. So a good spread of cars here. Just let's run through that. Front of
Oh, look how wide.
Jake McKellar in the Lexus. Steve Wilton in the McLaren. Biggie in the Nissan. Another Lexus, Porsche, and then Ferrari. So quite a few different makes of car here. Shooting out that top 10. J-Man. Still watching Biggie?
Yeah, and I'm just watching Icarus as they come through turn 3 that time round. The big sweeping right-hander in sector 1, and he's been able to hold that car really, really tight to the apex, and right now he hasn't been able to. That thing's just starting to drift off the apex in the middle of the corner. So I think that front left really just starting to pay the price of how fast he's been since bolting on that slick tyre. So still strong, still there, but just might have to just change the way he apexes a couple of corners, because I think he could be running out of front grip there.
Yeah, Icarus with clearly some straight line pace in Toyota though, J-Man as well. And look, the thing stops. It just does stop, you know, like, but maybe not the turn-in. You can stop it, but you're still going to turn the bloody thing in and struggle a little bit. Hugs a little bit of a gap through that final sector there, clearly.
Yeah, Ash Vediger banking a good time last that round, personal best of a 46.375. Still in the fight there with Lee Perkins, which has been going on for some time, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, those guys still going out. Perko, I think he's probably had to rein in the right foot a little bit on the skyline. Just stop. Just, you know, because Rediger would have got him if he kept playing up like that. Rediger would have easily got him. Rediger, even in the Mustang there, look, 2 vastly different lines through 3 as we're used to seeing. And 4. Running towards the hairpin now. He's close, J-Man.
He is close. He's very, very close. As with Icarus as well.
Seriously, I reckon Hugs has got this. I've got confidence. I'm backing him. I think Icarus' car is just, he's cooked his as well. It's equally as much, but I think it's the driving style that we're seeing is more of a difference than...
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt for me. I think Icarus looks maxed out on this thing. He's really driving the absolute wheels off this thing, and I think Hugs has just maybe just held his nerve here and possibly got a little bit more tyre left at the back end. But I tell you what, Icarus not going to go away if there's a half an opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
As he sends it.
At the same as Kim and...
He sent it down the inside, didn't pull it off, but he had a big look.
Okay, so we're going to get a quick replay again. It's really struggling to pull that car up. Luckily for Hugs, Hugs seen him coming, gave him the space to deal with it. Bones and Kim, J-Man, equally as close.
Yep. As is Vediger and Perkins now. Vediger's really
Vediger and
up the ante with only 3 minutes to go. He knows what's at stake here, and he is on full attack mode.
This is on. We got the 3 epic battles.
Here we go. Vediger, does he send it in there? No, he's really close, but
Actually, the centre sort of guy, is he?
Dan Kimmers. Dan Kim will send it.
Here we go. Jones, probably a little rattled again with diminishing tyre resources, and geez, it looked like he pinched through here. The Porsche brakes going into the braking area.
Where do you look, Dave?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, we could literally got from 5th to 10th just going at it.
Dan Kim, as Damien Jones runs the chicane, gets it wrong, but stays in it.
Stays in it and gaps him by 4 cars. He's got a few track improvements up his sleeve. He's using it. Okay, quick shout out before we finish this up. Fonato, McKellar and Wilton. Literally, these guys
and
are legends.
that margin has dropped too, mate. 2.3 seconds. So McKellar really coming on strong. He made a half a second that last lap. So
we look like we might get another lap here. Just looking where Fonato's on the track here. It looks like we're going to go another lap here.
Yeah, we will.
So there is still plenty to play for, because we just remember, Hugs, Icarus, Jones, Kim, look at that. Look at how close those two are. And what'll happen? Perkins, Benniger. Sorry, because Melly stuck in between that.
Danny Kim on Jones.
The battle, isn't it?
Both leaving 11s as they came out of 7 and 8.
Oh, it's on.
Look for a big look here from Danny Kim.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give me the final.
There you go. Shane Fonato starts the final lap. And Jake McKellar now 2 seconds behind. So it's a big ask. He has been making around about a half a second a lap. Actually made more than that. Made around 6.5 tenths that lap.
Come on, J-Man. Fonato's just open. He's just going hard.
1.7. It's already made 3 tenths already this part of the lap. So 3 tenths in sector 1.
Okay, Icarus, Hugs for the last time into 1. Hugs gets it sideways, backs the skyline in. It's on the way out. It's on.
Works it up.
Kim in the background, I think, just cooked it into 1 here. Let's have a quick look at this. Does he?
Rescind
yes,
here.
He does. Yes, he does.
1.3 the margin now. McKellar's made another 3 tenths. Another 4 tenths. He is right there. He is in Shane's mirrors. Shane's only got the final sector to complete here, but look at the closing gap here. 1.2 seconds the margin. Tight stuff at the top. Great drive back. That gold grill's kind of like a flex. Looks good.
I know what Shane's doing. He's going, the boys won't have the cameras on me unless it's close. Yes, there's the other one. I'll back off here. Come on, Jake, brother. Come up here. We're going to get on the camera tonight. There it is. Shane Fonato, Jake McKellar. 1, 2, Jake. And look in the background there. That is Steve Wilton rolling through the final dicky little chicane there. Awful chicane, actually, to be honest. Steve Wilton taking 3rd position. We
Biggie and Icarus.
That man in the comms box. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will have Palmer in the comms box. Not in official duties, but in celebratory duties. Icarus and Hugs. Jones and Kim. How close is that? Milling. All boys lonesome, but getting the work done in 8th position. Perko and
holding off Ash Whittaker.
Wow, what?
0.3 after 50 minutes between those two.
Literally, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 4 battles going on all the way through the field. Phil Turner in the Red Bull Ferrari, rounding up to the top of the hill there through the final sector. Man, nice work from the boys there. Danny Green not far behind first in the Mustang. Kenty Simpson in 14th. And then Rimmer. Running at 16. Awesome work. J-Man, let's get some.
Yeah, welcome to the Hot Box. Farmer, aka Steve Wilton, got us on comms. Oh, come on, mate. Don't leave me hanging.
Come on. Are we here? We're here. Yes.
Mate,
Yes.
Mate, what a performance. Well done. Well bloody done. You turned up late for the first one. Managed to log some laps. I felt like there was just a strategic play there, Farmer. Put the wetsuit on, went out for a bit of a wakeboard in race one, just got the car dialed in, and came out and just smashed it. Lap one, mega, bro. Mega.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, guys. I don't know. I was quite surprised to see myself on P3 on the grid there, but yeah, I used that race one just to get a bit of pracky in. Look, I favour the wet. Steve-O hooked me up with some setups sitting in my chat box there for me to load those and go. They were solid. Car was solid. I love the track.
Yeah,
somehow it came together. But it's been years between drinks, isn't it? Years.
Too bad the wet setups at Steve-O's sent you were better for you than they were for him. He'll be dirty now.
Yeah. And I think there was a comment earlier piece from Aztec about your history here, your track record here with lap one, turn one. But mate, all we saw was nothing short of brilliant lap one, turn one. This one, so mate, you like you said, it's been a minute between drinks, and obviously we've had a chat here in the comms box during the race, but it's been less than ideal circumstances. But you rectified that tonight, Farmer. Big result, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. It feels good to finally put one together after some real dismal efforts of past. So
must make you realise, even the old blokes can do it.
Well, I think the water helped, J-Man. We won't sugarcoat it too much, but the water's a leveler, isn't it? And I've always enjoyed racing in the rain.
Yeah.
And that really just gave me that little gap in the first sort of part of the race there. And Jarks was starting to hunt me down after the first 10 minutes, and I told him, back off. I'm getting an interview out of this, bro. And
hold Danny.
Just hold 5. Yeah. But it wasn't until the last 10 minutes to go that I started to believe that I might actually get in the com box here. This is a real thing. It's going to happen. So, cheers, boys.
Awesome. Well done, mate. And look, opportunity, mate. Things have moved on since you were last here. It's obviously your time right now. The floor is yours if you want to give any of your sponsors, friends and family a shout out, mate. Well done on tonight, and it's all yours.
All right. Oh, no, I just want to thank my mate Steve-O, really, for hooking me up, being my teammate this year. He sheds a lot of information with me. We bounce off each other with the car. Obviously to Wally as well, because part of the deal was I'll skin your car, Wally. You hooked me up with the setups, bro. So thanks for that, and obviously, you guys. We've been best mates for a long time with you boys. So thanks for all the effort, and did I mention the wife? She can't hear me, but she puts up. So, but cheers, boys. Cheers to the club, really.
Well done, Farmer. Well done, brother. Awesome effort. And, mate, that was a fantastic performance, mate. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
So there you go. You have it. Farmer there from P3. He was like, be like water, my friend.
Be like water.
So there you go. That is P3. Next cab off the rack. And this guy, he's been featuring every week. We get to chat to him. And I tell you what, came on strong. Brilliant pit stop. Opportune time to change the tyres in the feature race, and then really started to hone that margin down at the back end. Jakey, Snakey, you got us on comms.
Hey boys, how's it going?
Mate, just add water, brother, and yeah, certainly pretty spicy little battle out there. Got the attention, I think, of Farmer earlier on. He looked to have good car balance in the wet, and then it dried up, and you just took off like a jet.
Yeah, it was the tyre temps. I just didn't know where the hell. I just took a stab in the dark, to be honest. But yeah, paid off in the end.
Good stab. You
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
well positioned.
So just talk to us about that. Obviously, that decision-making process at that time. You peeled off. Obviously, Damien Jones was the first in, but you peeled off quite early, and it was ahead of Farmer. Farmer ran another lap. And did you feel like that tyre was just at the right time to get off of it and get on that slick, Jake, when you did?
Yeah, my left tyres are red in the wet, so and the little thing came up saying slick tyres were at optimum just before that last chicane. So as soon as I saw that, I was in.
Yeah, nice. And hit all your marks in the pit lane tonight, mate. It was pretty silky smooth down through the lane, in and out. And like I said, you had some work to do at the back end. Obviously, that margin that Whātaro had built during the rain session there, and you clawed it back. We don't know how much he was managing at the back end, but it did go quite deep into the session there. I could quite probably a good 4 or 5 laps out. You started just chipping 4/10 a lap into him, so running some big numbers at the back end. So the car obviously felt good at the back end.
It was quite similar, really, to be honest, in the second half of that second stint. I'm pretty sure he was fuel saving. That's why I was catching up. I think he had 1 litre left, is what I heard.
Okay. Well, mate, once again, in it to win it, and you keep stepping up. You've lost absolutely nothing since we last sort of broadcast and raced with you, Jake. So it's awesome to see you have lost no speed at all. Obviously, a former champ here at Asrnz. You have got Jake McKellar from P2. And, mate, if you want to give anyone a shout-out, sponsors, friends and family, go for it.
Yeah, may as well shout out to my teammates, Drive to Survive. Ashley Vettiger's already racing, but Joshy and Aztec, if you're watching, come for a race.
Yeah, old mate Aztec tunes in, mate. A lot of support there, Jakey, for yourself, and obviously we're rooting for you as well, mate. Beautiful performance. Well done, buddy.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
There you go. That is, Jake McKellar, and once again, this guy, no stranger, has got the last seat of the night starting to get some embroidery stitched into it. It's becoming a common occurrence, and fantastic in the wet, and even better in the dry. Shane Whātaro, you got us on comms.
Hey, fellas.
Mate, all went to plan tonight. Great qualifying pace. Only a 1/10 of a second difference both times between yourself and Jake McKellar. He's certainly turned up to test you there, but you delivered tonight.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised to see it rain. I didn't know it was set for rain this week, so I jumped on one night and it was dry. So saw the rain. I was like, oh shit! So I just ran my dry setup, see what happens, and it was good enough.
Really good.
We did that especially because you thought it was going to be dry, bro.
Yeah, like we have a say in it, mate. But no. Hey, look, just a couple of critical moments. Obviously, Wilton with a great start went to battle with the likes of McKellar and a couple of other boys, and you really, that instant pace on that wet tyre looked good. Jake McKellar went a lap earlier than you. You obviously covered that off. You obviously saw that on the totem and decided to cover that off. And I think that, you'd done the damage there. But the back end there, Jake was coming at you. You just mentioned that you might have been fuel saving. Talk to us a little bit about that.
No, I got my pressures a little wrong. So the slicks, I overpressured them, so it was quick straight out of the pits because I know they take a while to warm up.
Yep.
And then at the end they were too hot, 28 psi. I was almost crashed a couple of times, so I was using that gap to wind down the clock, basically, just try to finish the race.
Yeah, right. Oh, it made it nice and interesting because it sort of hovered around that 4 seconds for quite some times, and you guys were trading fast on laps. I'm sure you guys know when you're doing that. And it looked like a bit of an expression session out there. You guys were dipping deep into the 45s. Obviously, we were pretty impressed with mid 49 in the wet. However, deep into the 45s in the midway through part was pretty cool because you'd grab it, Jake would grab it back, and then back to you again. I think you ended up with it. I'm pretty sure you did. And yeah, just a great battle at the back end, Shane. So another solid performance, another big haul of points for the week.
Jake had some good pace tonight. He definitely made me work for it. It's pretty sweaty at the end of that one. Well,
Nah, awesome, mate. Awesome stuff. Oh, well, if you want to give anyone sponsors, potential sponsors as well, friends and family, a shout out, mate. The floor is yours.
shout out to the boys again. Wally almost made it, but hardware dramas. And shout out to Jake. It was a good race. Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
And cheers
awesome.
to you two.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, mate. Absolutely. Once again, we're getting used to this. Shane Fodderdo from the top spot tonight. Big old clean sweep here at round 5 at Barcelona. Well done, Shane Fodderdo. So, Davo, that is a wrap on round 5. One more to go, and effectively phase 1 of the championship, I believe. So, I think you called it. Maybe heading to, was it Mazzano?
Oh, yeah, Mazzano for next week. And then we're back in the Australasias and back to Australia for Bathurst, I think, the week after. So, yeah, plenty going on over the next couple of weeks. But Mazzano for round 7, I think it is, next week.
Round 6, mate.
Round 6, should I say? Next week. Awesome stuff. The boys put on a fantastic show tonight in trying conditions. J-Man, look, we always say we love a bit of rain. It's awesome for us up here in the comms box because we're not having to deal with it behind the wheel. But it really does make a great show for all of our viewers, ladies and gentlemen, and that is you guys. So, if the boys put on a good show, give us a like and subscribe. J-Man, yes.
Yeah, 100%. And look, just before the J-Man signs out, I'll just touch base with Dave. I'm sure he will cover off the good people that spin the wheels here and make everything happen behind the scenes as far as our sponsors. But Dave, I think pretty exciting stuff going forward for you. You and I and the sponsor team and everybody else that obviously views us and drives with us going forward. The calendar's still pretty busy, so we've been off Tuesdays at the moment. Supercars NZ just taking a short break between seasons. That's about to fire back up. We are back on a Monday night though, Rainlight Racing. That has been a fantastic series. And then due to come back online again, once again with Supercars NZ with the Spring Series V8s over there.
On the Tuesday nights, yes.
Yeah, on the Tuesday. Back to iRacing Asrnz Wednesdays. Little techie issue for us this week. Saw us absent for this, so apologies for that, guys.
Yep.
And then Thursday nights, back again, like we mentioned, round 6 with Asrnz in the GT3 World Challenge. And then if you are avid subscribers and followers, you will see there's been a bit of intel over there at the Matchfit Special Events channel as well. Dave, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that right now or keep the people at suspense, but
no.
big things coming.
Yeah. Look, stuff you got to get over to Matchfit events. Obviously, we've got our current event going. A registration to our current event, the Road America 450, coming up in, I think it's April 19th. J-Man.
Big day.
In iRacing in the Porsche Cup cars at Road America for 450 kilometers. It is going to be freaking awesome. Heaps of prizes, obviously merch and all the usual malarkey, trophies, merch, thousands of dollars worth of prizes and all that sort of jazz. So get on over there. Also, J-Man, and something else that I could probably fill the viewers in on is that across all of our streams, I think in the next couple of weeks we will be running a competition which everybody can enter. Doesn't matter which community you come from or what platform you like to drive, but big giveaway coming soon via Matchfit Entertainment and obviously our sponsors GAMAFLARE and the Quizzies. Good people at Quizzies as well. Yeah. So
watch that space. Tuned. That's a big one.
That is a biggie. So stay tuned for all those details. We are going to see you all again next week, starting Monday throughout the week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.